We are from Group 12 and we'll be discussing about the urinary system. The urinary system functions for the maintenance of homeostasis and electrolyte by a complex process that involves filtration, active adsorption, passive adsorption, and secretion. It consists of 2 kidneys, 2 ureters, 1 urinary bladder, and 1 urethra. First, we will move on to the kidney. The kidney can be divided into an outer cortex. Due to the presence of renal corpuscles and convoluted tubules, it has a granular appearance. The inner medulla has a striated appearance due to the straight tubules and parallel blood vessels. The kidney consists of 1 to 4 million nephrons, which consists of a renal tubule and a renal corpuscle. The renal corpuscle is found in the cortex and consists of the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. The afferent arteriole enters at the vascular pole, whereas the efferent arteriole leaves at the vascular pole. Lastly, the proximal convoluted tubule begins at the urinary pole.
So now we move on to the Bowman's capsule. The Bowman capsule is made up of parietal layer, which is a simple squamous epithelium that resting upon the basal lamina and thin layer of reticular fiber. Next is the visceral layer. The visceral layer consists of podocyte. Podocyte is a single layer of epithelial cell which have been modified during the embryonic development. Now is the structure of podocyte. The podocyte have a cell body from which arises several long extensions called the primary process. Each primary processes give rise to the numerous secondary processes called pedicel. Pedicel of each podocyte interdigitate with pedicel of other podocyte, and the gap between these interdigitations are called filtration slit. The filtration slit restricts the passage of large molecules, albumin and cell, red blood cell, and platelets. So, the filtration slit have electrostatic repulsion because the pedicels have glycocalyx that limit the filtration of negatively charged molecule. So next is the glomerular basement membrane. It located between the fenestrated endothelial cells of glomerular capillaries and the podocyte. It consists of 3 layers. First, the lamina lucida interna that border the endothelium, and it acts as a charge barrier. The second layer is the lamina densa, which is the middle layer and acts as a physical barrier, and it is impermeable to higher weight molecule. The third layer is the lamina lucida externa that adjacent to the podocytes, and it acts as a charge barrier.
Now we are discussing about components of glomerular filtrate. Glomerular filtration is the first step in urine formation and constitutes the basic physiologic function of the kidney. Blood plasma enters the afferent arteriole and flows into the glomerulus. The fluid that enters the capsule is called glomerular filtrate. During the filtration of plasma from the glomerular capillaries into the urinary space, the filtrate has to pass through an ultrafiltration barrier which consists of 3 layers. The first layer is the capillary endothelium, which is the bottom layer, contains pores, or we known as fenestrations. Basically, everything can pass through except blood cells and platelets. The second layer is the glomerular basement membrane, which is the middle layer. It prevents filtration of large proteins. The third layer is the outer layer consists of podocyte, which is a part of the Bowman's capsule. There are finger-like projections called pedicels, which are so close to each that there are just narrow filtration slits between them. They only allow small molecules to pass through. Take note that all 3 layers contain negatively charged glycoproteins, therefore it is difficult for the negative molecules to pass through.
In addition to the endothelial cell and podocyte, the glomerular capillary have mesangial cell adhering to their wall. The messenger cell, which is an irregular shape with cytoplasmic processes extending between the capillary loops. They are contractile since their cytoplasm contains myofilament, which is myosin and actin. The function for the messenger cell is to give structural support to the glomerulus and synthesize extracellular matrix involved in the phagocytic, therefore able to dispose macromolecule trapped by the glomerular basement membrane that might otherwise interfere with its filtering capacity. And the messenger cell is control glomerular flow. They have receptor for the angiotensin II. When these receptors are activated, the glomerular flow is reduced. They also have the receptor for the natriuretic factor produced by the cardiac artery cell and a vasodilator, which is cause increase the blood flow. And next, the messenger cell produce chemical mediators such as cytokinin and prostaglandin.
That is all from us. Thank you.